How's it going, guys? My name is Alex Carlson, and welcome to Tech Talk, a channel devoted to all things tech from yesterday, today, and tomorrow. Now, this video is going to be very short, but it's going to be very to the point. Anyone who really personally knows me knows I've been an avid Apple user for the past 8-9 years. I was wrapped up in the ecosystem. I had the iPhone, the iPad, the iPod, the MacBook. Everything I did was essentially Apple-based. But Apple, as we grew up, used the marquee "Think Different." They taught us it was okay to go against the tide, to go against the crowd, and to try different things out, to do things differently. And so in 2018, I decided to do things differently, and I wanted to test out the Android ecosystem. I went to Android. More importantly, I went to the Google Pixel 2 XL. And of course, with being an avid iPhone user, I had this stigma of old Android. You see, I think the majority of Apple users have this idea that Android's just like it was in 2012, with 2.3 gingerbread, with a bad battery life, a laggy operating system, a not optimized experience for the daily user. When I picked up the Google Pixel 2 XL, I went from the iPhone 10, and if I'm being honest, right away the bezels kind of freaked me out, and the dim display of the OLED display kind of made me go, did I just go backwards again? But it's been 1 week. And in 1 week, I can tell you that the Google Pixel 2 is now my daily driver. And I encourage you, if you're an Apple user, do what Apple told you to do. Think different. Look at your options. Don't get stuck in a box thinking that Apple is the only secure ecosystem that's out there. There are plenty of options now. Everything from the Galaxy S9, S9 Plus, Note 8, HTC U11, the Google lineup. The options are endless now. But if I'm being honest, 1 week using this Android device made me not want to go back. And honestly, I have 5 reasons as to why Android has caught up to Apple, not only with its ecosystem, but with the hardware, software, and everything in between. So I'm Alex Carlson, this is Tech Talk, and these are the top 5 reasons why Android has caught up to Apple. Number 1, right off the bat, and you can tell this was going to be one of the things I was going to talk about, but the customization. You see, the customization of an Android device is endless. But of course, that was one of the drawbacks back in the early 2000s. And early 2000s, I mean 2010 to 2014. You can change the icons, the way that the OS operates. You can change the lock screen, the home screen, the way that the battery indicator is displayed. You can change every piece of your operating system. But in the old days, that required a kind of shaky, flaky skin or theme or widget changer or, of course, launcher. But it's 2018 now, and in 2018, Nova Launcher has blown up, and Samsung has given you the tools built into their actual user experience, the Samsung UI, to tweak and change whatever you wish. So everything from the icons to the lock screen, home screen, of course the wallpaper, you name it, you can tweak it and make it your own. While iPhone is still running iOS, and iOS 11 pretty much looks one-to-one with iOS 7, with a couple different icon colors and different wallpapers. Reason number 2, and this one took me by surprise, battery life. Holy sh! The battery life of my Google Pixel 2 will generally last me all day. If I wake up at 8:30 to go to work and I get home at 9 o'clock at night, it's at about 40% with heavy use. Before I use this phone, I used the iPhone 10, and the battery life would generally last me 6 to 7 hours with heavy use, and I have to plug it in at 6 o'clock. So they've really optimized the Android operating system to not only allow you to customize whatever you want and make it your own phone, but to optimize it so it's not sucking down your battery like a hole in a pool. Reason number 3, of course, is the apps and the features. We all know that the Android market is more vast and it's more open than than Apple's App Store. And again, that used to be a turnoff because in the late 2000s, early mid 2000s, you would download apps that wouldn't do what they said they were going to do. You would get applications that would essentially kill your phone. And that was kind of a worry for every Android user. But now the Play Store is so much more advanced. It actually scans the apps and it approves. If you download an app, you're going to get exactly what you wanted without any, flashbacks to the mid-2000s or sacrifices. And of course with Apple, if you want a certain type of app, you'll get like 30, 40 options of different types that are rated okay to good. With the Android operating system, you get hundreds of thousands of different options, and they all do exactly what they were intended to do. So the environment and the universe, the Android universe basically as I'll call it, is more vast with options and choices. Number 4 is security features. You see, with the iPhone you have Face ID, and well, that's definitely going to be something big in the future. Samsung even does it with their Galaxy S9, S9 Plus. People miss Touch ID. And there is some awkward learning curves when going from Touch ID to Face ID. I mean, if you have Apple Pay on your iPhone, instead of just touching the Touch ID button and then scanning your phone, you now have to act like you're taking a selfie and then touching the pad to pay for whatever you want. Touch ID is still an option on every Android device, even ones that include Face ID. And of course, there's more security features. You can have 2 to 3 different type of passcodes on your Android device to secure your phone. So you can have that Touch ID followed by a passcode, followed by a text answer to a text question. You can essentially make it so it's damn near impossible for anyone to access your information. And number 5 is honestly the ecosystem. You see, one of the biggest reasons Apple users stick to Apple products is because the iOS ecosystem is just so intuitive, it's so intertwined. You get an iMessage, it's going to pop up on every device. iDrop, the Apple ID, everything is just tied to the ID, so you will always get the information, the songs, the apps, everything, no matter what device you're using. With Android, it used to be nothing like that, but then a little thing called Google came up. And when Google purchased Android, they put all their little things like the Google Assistant, like Google Drive, right into the OS, which is essentially the Android version of iMessage, of the iCloud. And you don't have to worry about stupid pop-ups saying, hey, you need to re-verify your information or else. You're always guaranteed your access, and you always have your access on any device that you use. And that even extends to like the Chromebook. The ecosystem has advanced so much since the mid-2000s, the early 2000s, 2012, that's really not an argument anymore, which is nice. In my 1 week of using the Google Pixel 2 XL, I can safely say it's my daily driver. I never have to worry about the battery dying, the sound quality for the music is amazing. With a longer battery, I don't use my Bluetooth anymore, I use the stupid adapter, and yeah, I still think this is dumb. But I don't worry about it because I know it's going to get me through my day. No matter what I throw at it, it's going to work. So the moral of the story is, don't limit what you will or won't use based off of your past experiences. Don't base tomorrow off of yesterday's mistakes. And do what Apple taught us to do. Think different. And Apple, if you ever watch this, I have a challenge for you. I want you to think different. You see, you taught us all how to think different growing up. That it was okay to be an artist, a musician, to do things different, to go against the tide, to be your own person. Why do your products only fit one user now? Why is it so one size fits all with iOS now? Why does that have to be the case? I'm not saying that iPhones are bad phones. I mean, I used them for 8-9 years and I loved them and I still love them. Hell, if I had an iPhone, I'd probably still use it just as an iPod or a backup. But Google and Android have advanced to the point where I have no need for one anymore. Because everything that I need is right here on my Pixel 2 XL. So the moral of the story is don't limit what you'll do based off of past experiences. Open your mind and allow different options to come into your life. Try things different. Do things different. Think different. And of course, your device is your device. I'm not here to tell you what to do or what to buy. I'm just here to tell you the truth. And the truth is, Apple and Android are now on par with each other. And hell, in some cases, Android has surpassed Apple. Their Google Assistant is more intuitive. Google Maps works better than Apple Maps. I mean, I used it on my iPhone. It's a new age, it's a new day, it's a new face, and it's a new time. And Android has finally become the true alternative to Apple. So I'm Alex Carlson. Thank you for watching Tech Talk. Our next videos that will come after this will be more review-based, more on upcoming OS features, upcoming events, WWDC. It will be more coverage-based than anything. For the first video, though, I just wanted to get that off my chest, because as a former Apple user, it was a bitter pill to swallow, but it was great with the results. So I'm Alex Carlson. Thank you for watching Tech Talk, and I will talk to you next time. Stay techie.